Who would have thought I'd have been better prepared for this by just hanging out with my niece?
Hello everybody and welcome back to Taste of Reality. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing the challenge All Stars Season 3, Episode 1 and 2. If you're an OG to this channel, you know I love the challenge. That's literally what made me start doing reviews. I haven't reviewed it a lot, but I'm going to try to stick it through for All Stars. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Let's get into the review. So off the bat, a very big change from this All-Star season is that they are actually All-Stars. No shade to anybody from past seasons, but all the people on this season's cast are finalists, whether it's in most recent seasons or seasons way before my time of watching the challenge. Everybody has made it to a final. Also, there will be a male and female winner splitting $500,000. It is a star-studded cast, you guys. I'm so friggin' excited to see everybody here. One shocker for me was seeing Naya and Jordan not only on the show, but also friends. If y'all remember Real World Portland, which is one of the Real World series that probably the most tumultuous of like the newer generation type of Real World, and they had a very volatile relationship. They both had done things that, you know, stained their name.
Hey. I'm not playing with you. This could happen tonight. Timmy, I swear to God, dude, you will be.
Anything else?
But they've come back, they've mended fences, they're actually more than chummy together, and all is well.
All right, you're gonna get down on one knee?
Yeah.
We've got to know each other on our own terms. And for that, I'm super thankful.
I am too.
We also have the return of Wes. And I know a lot of people, you either love him or you hate him. There's rarely a middle ground when it comes to him. But you cannot deny that he's the king of politics on the challenge. Doesn't matter who he's playing with. Doesn't matter if it's all rookies, all vets. He's the king of politicking. And everyone is kind of on edge that he's around.
Good old Wes, Rumpelstiltskin.
I have such a complicated relationship with Wes.
The wicked West of the West.
He is known not to be trustworthy.
He's basically a used car salesman. Scammy, scammy, scammy.
Now, along with him, we have Nehemiah and Melinda, who were his Real World castmates. They are also on this season with him. They've kind of made good strides in making alliances in the past two All-Star seasons. However, Wes does come with a rep that a lot of people might not want to have to deal with, so he might not be the best for their game, but we'll see how that goes. So skipping forward to the first daily challenge, it is called Tunnel Vision, and the objective of the game is everybody looks through a tunnel where there is a puzzle, and you will have to recreate that puzzle on the other side of the wall. Last person going straight into elimination. So the winners of this challenge are Wes and Cynthia. They, along with Yes, Kellyanne, MJ, and Veronica, form the authority. So every week the authority is going to consist of 6 people, the top 3 males and females, and they choose the 2 people who are going to go against the losers of each daily challenge. The losers this week are Cyrus and Cynthia. Now Cynthia, I don't want to be rude, but Cynthia's not somebody who I was expecting much from. Not to discredit her history, but it's been a long time since she's been here. And a lot of people underestimate this new version of the challenge. It is very physically taxing, and you have to be well prepared to come on the new version of the challenge. But, you know, keeping hope alive for her, I guess, even though I already know the outcome. The winners, however, of each daily challenge get an advantage where in the next challenge, they get to sabotage a player of their choice. So although you win and you're on the high of being the victor, you're almost setting yourself up for failure because you have to show your hand on who you sabotage in the next challenge. Ultimately, the authority chooses to send in the second last place finishers, which are Tyler and Tina. Tina, however, is very upset because her best ally, her closest friend in the house, is Veronica. And she's wondering, why didn't Veronica vouch for her?
She threw the first punch. So when it comes my time, I won't feel as bad about voting her in.
I mean, I get it. I understand the frustration. However, The authority is kind of trying to play it safe, being this is the first time around. You don't want to ruffle feathers right out of the gate. So to pick the second last place finishers is the easiest way to go. And unfortunately, Veronica does not have enough power to sway a room of 5 other people. So of course, Tina had to go in. This week's elimination is called Crawl Brawl. Each star crawls through a tunnel with sandbags and then drags them to the bell. It was tough. It was really tough to watch. Tina was definitely the front runner in this game. She has been on the All-Star seasons prior to, so I guess her body's more conditioned to this type of exertion. So unfortunately, what is her name? Cynthia did lose. And then in the guys' heat, Tyler lost. And it was for the same kind of reasons. His stamina, his agility, it's just not quite there. And ultimately, both of them lost just because they were ill prepared for the challenge. I hope to see them back. Tyler is a fun time. A lot of people love him and he does have great potential. He just needs to get his body up to par to what the challenge requires. And Cynthia as well. That's what I love about the All-Star seasons. We get to see OG challengers come back, defend their title, and really show us that time hasn't worn on their abilities. So Cynthia, get your mind right, get your body right, and come back and fight. Now the winners, which are Tina and Cyrus, they win an extra star. So in every elimination, the person who wins adds a star to their row of stars, but right now we don't know what those stars mean. All that TJ says is that at some point they hold a lot of weight, and the more that you have, the bigger advantage you have. So you kind of want to be sent in elimination to get this unsaid power. You want to, like, it's a risk that most people might not want to take because you could get sent home. But if you're constantly the victor, who knows? It might be, you know, you get time shaved off in the final. It could be you get to pick your part. I don't know. We don't know what the power is, right? So moving on to episode 2. The daily challenge is called Out of Reach, and it is the typical heights of water that TJ loves. And basically you have to swing to release a key, unlock the puzzle pieces, and solve the puzzle. The last winners, Sylvia and Wes, are now given the task to sabotage another person. Sylvia picks Kellyanne. Kellyanne is a strong competitor, so that is a good choice. And Wes picks Jordan. No surprise to anybody because Jordan is a one-handed beast. It blows my mind how this man has a very visible disadvantage, yet just rips through anybody he's faced with in a challenge. It's impeccable. It's just amazing. So it's no surprise that Wes gives him the sabotage. However, the sabotage didn't really do much of anything because the sabotage was once you finish your portion of the swinging, you have to wait a minute before you get to solve the puzzle. It's a very simple puzzle, so a minute is a long time. But it's Jordan. Jordan is the one we're talking about. A minute means nothing to him.
I finished this thing, eaten the sabotage, spread fear amongst the men, and Wes is still in his swing.
Sylvia, on the other hand, did make a good choice by picking Kellyanne because she completely crapped the bed. She was the second in the water, I think, following Janae, and she was the last to solve the puzzle. And it was more so out of frustration rather than the time penalty because it was a very simple, okay, I don't want to say very simple, but it wasn't like anything that was truly that difficult. So if Kellyanne literally would have just stopped, taken a second, breathe, and then try to solve the puzzle, she probably could have done it, but she didn't. So ultimately she lost.
I'm tired of these stupid puzzles. That's just who I am.
Luckily for her, somebody who did worse was Tina, yet again, who finds herself in the bottom. But in this case, I kind of have to give her grace because she got stuck on the swing. I guess her foot wasn't completely released from the contraption, so she wasn't able to complete the challenge. She was disqualified.
Why? I did great.
Wow.
I was the first one down.
The man who's on the bottom with her is Latarian, so they are both going straight into the elimination. The winners of this week are Yes and Kendall, and they form the authority along with Jordan, Janae, Brad, and Kayla. Now, the campaigning this season is interesting. Okay, in the first episode when Tyler was, on the chopping block, his case to be saved was, don't you want to have people around here who are fun? No, Tyler. You want to have people around who at the end, if you need to work with them, they will be a good partner to carry you along in the final. Who cares about fun? Who cares about the dressing up and the bus rides? Like, I get it. You want to have a good experience, but in terms of a win, Tyler's not the best choice. Then in this episode, you had, I think it was Kellyanne. She wasn't even trying. She was here playing with the dog, kind of staring off into the distance. So she wasn't making much of a case. And then you have Tina, who has been in the bottom 2 weeks in a row, is talking to Janae, who is the previous challenge winner, and is basically threatening her rather than giving a name on who she wants to go against.
Melinda and Veronica. And if you put either one of those in, and I will not be happy. Period.
Now, if you ask me, it's not a very good look because so far, Tina, your track record has not been that great. The last thing you want to do is burn bridges or make enemies, and I don't even think that you were on Janae's radar, but now with the way that you've been acting, you're definitely going to be in her sights. So the authority comes together and basically their theory is let's all save a person and then whoever is left, let's vote. Unfortunately for Tina, the person who she threatened, she'd be upset about getting voted in, gets voted in, which is Melinda, and she is in with Mark. Mark was a very bold choice. He's a strong competitor. I don't know if you want to be in Mark's bad books. That's just me. When we fast forward to the elimination, unfortunately for Melinda, she's unable to compete because an injury she sustained from last season is still bothering her this season, and she doesn't want to further, injure herself, so she is removed from the game. But the game this episode is called Lights Out, where both men are tethered to a bar, and the first to turn off the light wins. Mark, for the majority of the game, was ahead, but they are both kind of at a standstill at one point where Mark is ahead, and the people in the gallery are almost thinking, why doesn't Latarian actually, no, it was Latarian, right? Yeah, I get Latarian and Cyrus mixed up. Why doesn't Latarian run the opposite way and then hit the light? If he does it fast enough, he would be able to win.
Just right now, if he just takes off and goes that way.
Would be risky as hell.
It would be really risky.
And honestly, it was an amazing strategy if Latarian wasn't gassed. He unfortunately had not enough power in him to overpower Mark, and that little edge that he gave Mark allowed him to take the win. So with that, Mark and Tina have won this elimination, and that means now Tina has 3 stars. She's gone in twice, and she's technically won twice. Right now, she is the most powerful person, not even woman, in the house. I would be a little bit more careful on who you keep sending in. Okay, well, they didn't send her in this time. Okay, Tina, you gotta start winning, babe, okay? Tina's gotta start winning, but if she keeps winning in the elimination, I guess that's a strategy of its own. We have yet to see what these stars are all about. And is Johnny Bananas joining the cast?
Fucking bananas. Interview over.
It's hectic. Johnny and Wes on the same cast again? Ciao. We're in for a doozy. I don't know how you guys are feeling about this season of the challenge, but personally, I am loving this all-star season. I feel like the last ones, they were more so, and again, this is no offense, but they were more so like returnees rather than all-stars. So this season is definitely all-star. No, you're fine. So this season it's definitely all-stars, and you can feel it within like the competition, right? So as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.